Hey guys, the last video that we put out, the gardens were just absolutely gorgeous and stunning and everything just looked like natural perfection. And since then, we've had a really terrible storm here in Wisconsin and it created so much garden devastation, and we've been working hard at trying to stand things up and make them look back to normal. And it's been really tough to see your hard work kind of get destroyed. We had tornado warnings and microburst winds up to 100 miles per hour. We haven't had a storm like this in years, so it was pretty sad. Okay, sorry about that. It's kind of personal, you know, because the garden is such a huge part of our lives and it brings us so much, but we are actually so grateful that it didn't destroy the garden completely. You know, you have to trust in Mother Nature and its reasoning for doing things. So we're gonna just help the garden out today, help it heal a little bit, and we're still fortunate. Things are still hanging on the wall. Our window boxes look okay, and it could have been a lot worse. I know there's been other people dealing with storms throughout the world and have complete devastation, so we can't complain in that sense. So today we're just gonna kind of share our cleanup of the garden and kind of assisting and helping that garden, giving the garden some crutches pretty much, because we're gonna need to stake and hold some things up, and we're gonna share that along the way. So let's get started. It looks like it's gonna be a long day ahead of us. Some of the things we'll be doing today is repotting this pot here. Everything on the plant wall actually looks okay. It got a little blown, but yesterday I gave it a really good dose of fertilizer, kind of fluffed it up and helped things stand up a little better. Some stuff broke off, but we can't complain. After the storm, all of the large sunflowers were literally laying down. So we've already stood some up, but today we're going to add on some string support here to hold these guys up a little bit more. And also these guys over here, these were just laying flat. So we're gonna lift some stuff up, and as you can see, everything's kind of just blown that way. When we came out after the storm, it was just like everything was just absolutely flat. Let me show you the other side. Like I said, we've already come out here and tried to help things out and unflatten them a little bit, but there's a lot of stuff that's gonna need support. And in fact, I think those sunflowers back there are completely done, but that's what everything looked like. I kept one section down so you could see like what we walked out here too, and everything was just so perfect and bushy and beautiful, and it's still beautiful. We're finding beautiful in this chaotic mess right now. But as you can see, even like the corn back here fell. Corn and sunflowers over here. This corn over here can't even get through there, so we'll have to lift that up. All these sunflowers are just blown in and over. Jason lifted them up. They were just flat, but he lifted them and kind of pushed them forward a little bit. And then over here, I knew we should have done the kid garden tour already, because now it's kind of blown over a bit along with the corn. And now I'm gonna show you the biggest devastation for us in our front garden bed, the really large bed, which was our fall path with ornamental corn and sunflowers. So the whole front garden is laying down, so today we're going to have to stand up all of this corn and sunflowers. Jason's gonna come out here and help me. It's just crazy how these microbursts can just come through here. It's like as if it just went straight through this field here. This is gonna take a lot of extra work to stand this whole field up. It just makes me sick to see this. But fortunately, none of this was for harvesting or to make a living, so I'm sure a lot of farmers are dealing with a lot of devastation too. Yeah, it's just crazy. So that's what I'm working on, and we'll see what we can do here. I've never seen anything like this here, where it's taken down our entire field and the gardens, and never had that happen like that before. I mean, we've had heavy winds where a few things fall over, you know, I mean, that's only natural in a garden, and but nothing like this. It was just insane. So you guys are actually seeing it on a better day today. So we're gonna share just kind of what we're doing throughout the day to bring our garden back to normal. The garden has always been so healing and therapeutic for us. So I think it's our turn to be healing to the garden and give it back what it gives to us all the time. And that's why I truly love gardening. It's not just about how much food we can grow and harvest, or the most beautiful combinations, or none of that. When it comes down to gardening, really doesn't matter. It's what gardening brings to you as a person, and it's a feeling, and it's a big part of who I am and who we all are here in the family. And it's really good for your soul. And when you do garden, you don't need a huge garden like we have. You can even just have a container, something, because when you're helping that grow, you're part of the earth. You're helping the earth, and it's just this feeling deep in the soul. And if you're a gardener watching this, you know exactly what I'm talking about. And if you're new to gardening, or you don't have a garden and you just like watching just for the views of the garden, right now is a great time to just start your own little thing, even if it's in the house, just 2 plants even, or 1 little seed, or you won't believe the feeling that you get when you do that. I'm gonna first start in areas that don't need stakes put in. So I'm really gonna try to utilize some of the boards that we have going up for lighting and trellises, and kind of, you know, hold everything up that way first. So we've got these beautiful sunflowers here. So what I'm gonna do is just use some jute rope. You can use any type of twine, or I like the jute rope because it's kind of movable. It doesn't stay super tight, so it kind of can grow with them. But there's many different types you can use in the garden. And I'm gonna go ahead and tie it up here. The amaranthus here should naturally be standing and kind of bushing off this side, but got pushed that way. And it's still strong in there, so I'm just gonna kind of move it forward and then pad on the surface of the soil near the root base. And you can even use your boot too, so that way you get even more of a padded area. So pat around it in the direction you want to go. There. And that holds it right there then. Same with this one. Come down there. There. There we go. With it falling down that way, it was falling over top of my kale over here. And so we don't want that to happen, because that's my chip source right there, my kale chip source. The next area I'm going to work on are these large sunflowers right here, and we're going to tie them up to the trellis over here. And I'm gonna do the same with that corn right there too, and I'm just gonna connect it over to here. These morning glories are definitely survivors. They're really showing off this morning. The Grandpa Ott variety. And then over here, we have where we grew the tomato on the trellis by using Black-Eyed Susan vine to be a natural tie for it growing upward. And look at how gorgeous it is. We have tomatoes going all the way up this trellis here. It's absolutely gorgeous. So this is our little trellis walk-through area. So I don't mind them kind of coming into this area a little bit, but I want to lift these sunflowers a tiny bit, about to right there. And then along with the corn as well, I won't tie it up as straight because it would be okay if it kind of, you know, curved into this walking path, but it needs a little controlling because I don't want it to, as it starts browning and turning naturally for fall, it'll become weak and then it'll end up just laying on the ground. So I don't want that. The whole point of adding ornamental corn into the garden is for that fall effect. It's so that way our gardens can kind of transform into a beautiful fall garden, from a summer garden to a beautiful fall garden. And we love fall time, so we got to save these. So with the corn, I'm actually going to go through and see what I can salvage by just standing it up and pushing on the base of the roots, and see if I can train it to go the other way just by doing that without adding the string. So I think this bunch here is going to have to definitely be tied up. It's not going to be able to hold up. It's already getting some corn on it, and with that corn on there, it's making it more top heavy. So it's definitely going to need a little assistance, but I'll do what I can for now. Not bad for the boot method. And when I say the boot method, all that is lift your foliage up and push down the root right around it. It secures that root back in there, because when it falls over from the wind's pushing it out. So you want to step on it from each side too. So you're really bracing that root back into the soil and firming it up. But I even come on the inside of the row and I push down too. Because they were blown forward, it kind of lifts up the back of the root a little bit, so you're pressing it in on both sides really good. It's crazy how well the boot method works, because I don't think I'm gonna need a stake there, unless we want to just put one there and lightly tie them, so if we do get a lot of wind, they don't get thrown all the way down again, because then that would be the end of it then, I believe. Well, there's already a really huge improvement here, so I'm gonna move on. Over in that garden, I had to add some stakes. The corn wasn't strong enough for the boot method, so we just use these really tall green stakes. We try to just use whatever we have. Unfortunately, over in this garden here, I'm gonna have to cut out all of these sunflowers and get rid of them so everything else can breathe in that garden, because they've fallen over everything and they're getting close to being finished anyways. These are the Pro Cut sunflowers that are perfect for cut bouquets, but in the last video you saw how perfect and beautiful they were, and this storm just ruined them. So this right here is probably one of the hardest things I've had to do. So if there's anything worth saving, we'll save it, but they're also great for seed saving at least. So we can even let some dry and use them for finch food. They have smaller seeds on this variety. They're not like the big sunflower variety, so the seeds are like a third of the size, which is perfect for small birds. Well, Jason said he was coming out here to help me, and I just found him out here. There he is. Aw, helping me out. He knows how upset I am about this. Look at him right there. Right there he is. My little lovely helper. The garden means so much to all of us, so it's only fair to give back to the garden what it brings us on a daily basis. Alright, so we're about 40 minutes in and we got that section done, so we're moving on to this part of the field and then down to the center and the other side. Jason's working from home on his phone while he helps me. Well, midday got pretty hot, so we took a little bit of a break, and now we're just out here and the girls are out here with us. We're gonna finish standing up some corn and finish doing a little extra garden cleanup, and we'll just share that along the way. What are you girls doing?
We're making sandcastles, but except volcano sandcastles, so we can't look at each other's, and we're doing a contest. Whoever looks the best from decorating wins!
Woo! That looks awesome, Lana.
But no one can look at each other.
Oh. Selah, what about you?
This is mine.
This is yours here?
That right there. Don't touch it.
Okay, I won't touch it.
I want it to break.
Okay. That looks cool. I always love watching the girls play outside because they really use their imagination with nature's toys, and it's such a blessing to us to see how much they enjoy the nature. And so we're coming down our fall path, which is starting to come together and look somewhat better. And Jason's out here right now busting his little buns, helping me get everything stood up out here. How's it going, hon?
Good. The ground's a little more solid, so it helps a little bit with packing them and sanding them up, but it's not too bad. I kind of just grab like a group at a time and then just kind of stop next to them like that, and so basically just kind of take my arm, pull the curtain, pull the shades back here. There we go.
All right, well, I'm gonna get to work and help too. I've got this whole row in front of me here. This whole row needs it. And I already did the farthest front of the row there, so it's mainly just right here. Jason's standing up the last row here.
Yeah. Is this the last of it?
Yeah.
All right.
I think so.
Last row on this side at least.
Hope so. Been standing corn all day. Well, we're at the end of the day here, and this field looks completely different than it did just this morning. Well, we may not have gotten everything done on our list today, but the garden definitely looks like it's starting to heal. I always love when our black-eyed Susan Rebeckias come into blossom. They just really brighten up the entire garden and just make it feel so happy. This is my favorite time of the night to be in the garden. It feels so good to have it picked up and somewhat cleaned up, and just enjoying all of its beauty that it's gonna give us for another month and a half, hopefully longer, depending on when we get our first frost here in Wisconsin. But I am a lot happier tonight than what I was from the beginning of this video. Spending the day today in the garden was like a therapy session that I really needed, and I feel that it was time for us to give back to the garden, since the garden has been giving us so much this year. And here's a lot of those Pro Cut sunflowers, which I'm gonna take in tonight so they don't sit out here with the condensation and then they'll end up getting wet. What we want them to do is dry. And then we'll just place them outside on little plates for the birds and let them eat away. Let them eat their little hearts out. The girls are done riding for the night. It's been the perfect little garage, huh, Selah? Oh, hi, sweetheart. Yay! Aw. So did you girls have fun riding today? Aw. Love it. Aw.
Yep, you guys look like you had a great time out there.
Aw. And Lana, show us your tooth. Is it coming out a little bit more?
Oh my goodness.
It's gonna fall out tomorrow.
Tomorrow? What about tonight?
Tomorrow, I think.
I think tomorrow too. Me and Lana both think tomorrow, huh? Right, Selah? Is that what you think too, little one? Let's walk through the magical garden.
It's not magical.
It is magical.
Huh?
No, it's not. You're lying. You little wild. Is it magical?
I love seeing the kids walk through the garden. There she goes.
You waiting for me, Selah?
Well, it's way past the bedtime, but is it ice cream time instead?
I'm ripping open the chocolate ice cream.
Sugar!
Daddy let us have it. Blame it on him.
Daddy.
Those are Minute Maid. They're good for you.
They have a fruit on
They
the
make
cover.
orange juice. They're good for you.
And that is so important why I am a part of this household.
Mommy, the ice cream tastes minty because I just had a mint.
Ooh, sounds delicious. You like mint ice cream, right?
I hate chocolate ice cream. But I had a mint that I was eating. I hate mint. And then when I eat it, it tastes like mint ice cream.
Yum yum. Are you jumping on the couch?
What did you say to that?
Look at that beautiful sky out there, huh?
Look at that.
Yeah, you like the pattern, huh? Well, I'm ready to relax. I'm gonna go watch an episode of Snapped. Do you ever watch that, you guys? Let me know in the comments below. Thanks so much for watching. Woohoo!